welcome to our next video lesson, subject of engineering mechanics, and topic is let us it is simple stress science. It is continuation to the previous one. Let us discuss something about the stress and strains in this one. Let us in this session, by the end of this session, you will be able to calculate the simple stresses, simple strains, and deformations of bars due to axial load on uniform bars as well as stepper bars. Okay, so if a bar is given, we have seen in last session, up to last session, we have seen one or two problems on how to calculate the stresses in strains and deformations due to axial loading of uniform bars. Okay, uniform bars means only single bar it is right. So now in this one, it is again, let us see some more problems on uniform bars as well as stepper bars. Okay, so stepper bars means different, from section to one section to the another section, the area differs, means size differs. So that is nothing but stepper bars. Okay, in that case, how to calculate the stresses. Even uniform bars also, it is there may be some loads may be different for different sections. Okay, loads may be different in the different sections. It is combination of 2-3 sections. So it one section the load may be different to the other sections. So in that one, let us how to calculate the stresses in each bar. Okay, using the simple what is it called, equilibrium condition, equilibrium of loads condition, we will calculate the stresses and strains for that uniform bars as well as for the stepper bars. Now let us simply let's quickly recap what we have discussed in the last class. So we have discussed about the definition of Young's modulus. So we have defined the Young's modulus using so it is called Hooke's law. So we have defined Young's modulus is defined the ratio of stress to the strain. Strain is nothing but again it is a linear strain. Right? Stress to linear strain. Young's modulus is equal to stress by strain. From Hooke's law we have defined this one. Stress to the linear strain. Again, just please remember it is a linear strain, because we have discussed in last class, we have discussed two types of strain, linear strain as well as lateral strain. So this is what type of strain we have to take, is nothing but linear strain. Okay, Young's modulus is equal to stress by linear strain. So compressive strain. So when a load is subjected to compressive, member is subjected to compressive load, then what type of stress strain it undergoes? That is nothing but compressive strain. Similarly, if it is member is subjected to tensile force, that type of strain it is undergoes in nothing but tensile strain. So that's what the compressive strain and tensile strain. When a body is subjected to two equal and opposite pushes, the ratio of decrease in length to the original length is known as a compressive strain. So that is nothing but compressive strain is nothing but when a body is subjected to two equal and opposite pushes, the ratio of increase in length to the original length is known as a compressive strain. Right. So increase in ratio of decreasing. Of course, when a compressive is nothing but it decreases. Okay, so that is nothing but decrease in length to the original length is a compressive strain. Tensile strain, when a body is subjected to equal and opposite pulls, the ratio of increase in length, because when a tensile member is subjected to tensile strain, tensile force, so obviously what happens, there will be increase in length, elongation takes place. So that's why it is increase in length comes to picture. Okay, increase in length to the original length. Along the length direction means along the direction of the force, so that is it is subjected to tension force, there will be an increase in length. Similarly, if the member is subjected to compression, means if this load is along the line of the member, along the length of the member, and it is trying to push the member, means compressive force acts, there will be decrease in length along its length direction. Okay, we are talking about only linear strain here, that's all. Okay, please be careful, we are talking about only linear strain, not the lateral strains. We are talking about only linear strain. Whatever we have discussed, this tensile strain and compressive strain is what linear strains along the length of, that's why we are using the term length. Okay, initial length, fine, original length, and increase in length, that's all. Right. Right, this is about this is what we have discussed in last class. Now let us go to the some of the problems based on this one. A steel tube 1.5 meters long and of metal thickness 5 mm is required to carry an axial pull of 24 kilonewtons. Axial pull means tensile load. The safe compressive stress for the steel used is 140 MPa and the maximum permissible strain is 0.004. Right? Find the suitable inside diameter of the tube. Young's modulus of the material is 200 GPa. GPa means gigapascal. Okay, 200 into 10 to the power of 9 Pascal means Newton per meter square. That's what is units of the Young's modulus. Another way of expressing the units of Young's modulus or modulus of one more term is that modulus of elasticity. Most of the cases we are using the Young's modulus. This also we call as modulus of elasticity. Right. So what is the given in this one? So what is given? So it is given that tube right, a steel tube length is given, initial length that is 1.8 meters, thickness is given, right? So it is the diameter is not given, right? So it is a what type of it is? It's steel tube. Tube, what is mean by tube? It is nothing but hollow circular section. Hollow circular section. So it means just like this one, right? Right? This is a hollow circular section. This thickness he has given, it has how much it is? 5 mm. So what we want to calculate? So the safe permissible stress of steel is given, the permissible strain is given, and suitable find the diameter E Young's modulus is given. So it means that either we have to calculate the external diameter or internal diameter, right? So this is nothing but let us say this is 5 mm, another 5 mm thickness, right? Let us say that this is the diameter, internal diameter. So internal diameter, either you can calculate the internal diameter or external diameter. So whatever way it is convenient, if you can calculate, right? You can calculate the internal diameter, later calculate out external diameter, or first you calculate the external diameter or can calculate the internal diameter. So this is nothing but capital D, external diameter, and internal diameter is nothing. What is the relation between external diameter and internal diameter? External diameter is equal to internal diameter plus 2 times the thickness. This plus this, that is nothing but 2 into 5 means 10. So this is the relationship, right? So now first you either substitute, right? So it will be, you can use anyone, right? Safe permissible stress of the steel is used, right? Right. Now how to calculate? I will just brief it up, then that's the solution. How to calculate means first we have what is the equation we have. So he has given Young's modulus. So he has given the what is the strain is given, right? So he has given the stress, right? And also he has given length and length. So we have the equation. So we have the equation. So delta L is equal to PL by A, one equation. Now first write whatever equations you know, just you write up so that we will get some idea what is unknown, how to calculate. Right? We have the equation 1. Delta L is equal to PL by A. Right? So that is one case. And the next one is stress. Stress sigma is equal to P by A. Another equation. Right? Next we have the strain equation. Strain, let us say it is strain is let us say epsilon E. So E is equal to delta L by L. Delta L by L. Right? Now we got the things. Okay. Now how to calculate the unknown? That is nothing but, so first of all, what is unknown out of this one? All these things, it is P is not given to you. L is given to you. Delta L is means stress given means delta L you can calculate. Right? Strain is given means strain is known to you, initial length is known. You can calculate the delta L. Young's modulus given. So only unknown is nothing but your area. Okay. So this is what the unknown. So what is the area of this hollow circular section? Area of the hollow circular section is equal to pi by 4 capital D square minus small d square. Right? From the equations, knowing the all things, first we calculate the area. Right? So calculate the area. So area, once we calculate the area, then equate to this equation, pi by 4 d square minus d square. This is what, this is unknown. First we calculate from this equation, any of the equations, use any of the equations according to whichever is convenient and whichever is as per the requirements. You can use the equations and calculate the unknown area from this one. Then equate that area, whatever you get from this one, equate to pi by 4 d square minus d square. So we have, because both are unknowns, nothing, no, he has given nothing, neither capital D or small d. So what we have to do, we have to uh, we have prepared, I mean, we are formed an equation relationship between external diameter and internal diameter, right? As the thickness is given, that's why we have formed capital D is equal to small d plus 10. Either you substitute capital D is equal to small d plus 10, so that here d small d, here small d, both will be only one unknown out of this entire equation, only one unknown. So this is a numerical value, you know it. So from that one you can calculate a small d, or if you want, you can calculate small d is equal to d minus 10, small d is equal to d minus 10, like that also you can do anything, right? Right, now let us see the solution. So this is a given data strain. Of course, we are in this one strain, we are use the uh, epsilon here, right? So this is a member, all a circular section. This is a type in internal diameter, this is external. See the relation, internal diameter is equal to external diameter, sorry, external diameter is equal to internal diameter plus 10. 10 means this is 2t. From here to here if we calculate, so this is d, this is nothing but, okay, this is internal diameter d, and 5 plus 5, 10, that's what 10. External diameter d plus 10. Now let us see the solution. Where A is the area of cross section, so A is equal to P by L, so we got the area. Now equate it to the area of this hollow circular section. From this one, substitute capital D is equal to D plus 10 and whole square. Now simplify the equation. We will get a quadratic equation, right? So it is D square. Of course, both will get cancelled. Only remaining is the unknown D. So from that one directly we'll get the D value. No quadratic equation at all. So some further simplified, right? So it will be very simple. And you got to the D is equal to 5.91 mm. Internal diameter is equal to 5.91 mm. Inside diameter of the tube is equal to 5.91 mm. Then outer diameter, so once the inside diameter calculated, outer diameter D is equal to how much? So it is 5.91, right? 5.91 plus 10 mm. It is nothing but 15.91 mm. 15.91 mm. That's what the answer, right? This is how you have to calculate. So even from the simple stress, we have found it out. Even we did not use the equations delta L is equal to PL by E, because from the stress equation only itself we got the answer. Some additional information is given, so that we don't need it all. So that's why it is, if it is anything information given in the problem, don't think that all the information which is required for us to solve the problem. Don't think like that. Okay, so sometimes there may be some additional information also may be given, so that may not be required to solve the problem. So that's why it is, don't think too much about the problem, right? So the basic concept, what is asked, what we need, that's all. Use that one, calculate, okay, solve the problem. That's what you have to always think about it. Okay, so he has, because in this one he has given the strain, load is given, strain is given, right? So length is given, initial length is given, so all these are, we are not required at all. Okay, to solve this problem, it is, we don't need, we need just a stress and, or of course we have used the load equation, of course, right? We need only load and stress, that's all. We don't need any other parameters. Okay, load and just simple equation, stress is equal to P by A, that's what we need it. Okay, so from this one we are, P is known to you, sigma is given, and calculate the area, and thickness we already given. That's all. We don't need initial length, we don't need strain, right? We don't need Young's modulus. So all these are data, is additional data is given. Okay, sometimes you may get confused because then you end up somewhere. You're doing calculating that this, and you will end up somewhere so that you don't find any answer. Okay, so that sometimes for sometimes in the problem itself intentional also they will give some additional information. Okay, even though you don't need that information to solve the problem, some additional information is given so that to confuse you. Okay, only to confuse uh, sometimes the examiners may the person maybe give the additional information. That's what you have to be careful about it. So just you think about what we need it, that's use it and solve the problem. Very simple. It is just simple fundamental, simple. But the first class of our the stress and strain chapter. P, that is the formula we have used. We don't need any other. We did not use anything. Okay. After that, we have solved 6 or 7 classes. Now it is 8 class, I think. So our remaining 7 classes data we don't need at all. This it is just like a fundamentals we can use. We can solve the problem, but only to because of some additional information is given. So it is don't get confused. That's all. Right. Now let us go to the next one. Next topic. So it is a consider a bar shown in figure composed of 3 cross sections A1, A2. Because A1, A2 is one, it's nothing but different areas. Okay, from section to section, the area is different. Means of a length of total length, it is if a member is having total length L. Okay, then it will be, it is maybe it may have some portion, it will have one area, and for a length of L1, let us say area is L1, and some portion it is having A2, having the length L2, and some other portion L3 and is having area 3, means it is A1 A2. What is nothing but A1 A2 is nothing, area, it indicates that area is changing, right? So area is changing means maybe it is one portion is circular, one portion will be rectangular, or even all the portions may be rectangular or it may be square, but the sizes are different. Okay, areas different means sizes are different. That is the case. In that case, how to calculate the stress and strain? Like this. Here it is more, sorry, here it is more, here it is less, here it is further less. It is subjected to a load of P, right? Axial load, axial pull means tension. This is the L1, L2, L3. Of course, don't think that always the figure will be like this only. It can be like this also. Okay, if you are the just purpose, to indicative purpose, we are using this type of diagram. Otherwise, don't think that some problems may be like this also. Right? So it can be any shape, not only this shape, it can be any shape. It can be two combination of only two different types. Okay, like this, it can be different, right? But generally, it is symmetric sections will be given to you for along the length of the member. That members will be most all cases it will be symmetric. The stresses in each section will be sigma 1, means stress in section 1 because variable cross section areas are there. So that's why it is each section will have different stresses. Okay, produce inducer stresses are different. In first section, sigma 1 is equal to P by A1, second section P by A2, third one P by A3. For whereas the load will be constant for all the pickers. Okay, load is not different. In this case, the loads are not different. It is all the members are subjected to same load, but due to area of cross section, differential area of cross section, the stresses developed are different. Okay, in section 1, and stress developed is sigma 1, that is equal to P by A1, and sigma 2 is equal to P by A2, and sigma 3 is equal to P by A3. So be careful, be observe that it is loads are same, it is same load. Okay, for all the members, it is subjected to same amount of load. Right? So that's what you have to remember. If the respective changes in the length of the respective changes in the length of the three sections, then if the respective changes in length of the three sections, okay, so it is length of the respective it is respective so if the respective changes if delta L be the respective changes in the length of the three sections, then delta L1 means it is total elongation may be delta L, but delta L1, because this is lengths are also different, right? Lengths are also different. There may, that's why it is each member is subjected to, the area is different, length is different. So what is the formula of delta L? Delta L is equal to, we have the formula PL by AE, basic sum, PL by AE. So from this formula, so delta L depends on load. Load is constant for everything. Young's modulus, let us say all materials, all are made up of same material. So that's a P by, and P and E is maybe constant for all the three sections. But L is different, A is different, right? So that's why it is that's why it is delta L also may be different for each section. So that's why delta L1 is equal to PL1 by A1E, delta L2 is equal to PL2 by A2E, and delta L3 is equal to PL3 by delta A3 into PL3 by A3. Because in this one, each member is, the length is different, area is, that's why they will undergo different amount of change in length for each section. Okay, so one member will have this, one amount of different amount of change in length. Second will have the different amount of change in length. Third amount will be different change of length. Maybe numerically sometimes they may be equal, but it doesn't mean that all are equal. Okay, so there will be some change, but some cases due to some loads or some cases it may come to equal. Okay, in specific problems, not in general. But whereas if the length is different, area is different, even not only length, if this any one criteria out of this PL by AE, if it is any one either length or area of section or Young's modulus, any one. Just a minute, it is stopped, I think. Yeah, share it. How much it is? 10 minutes, sorry, 7 minutes. 7 minutes, and this is 1 minute, 7 plus 1, 8 minutes. 8 minutes difference, okay. 8 minutes 45, 53 minutes means 55 minutes means that's enough, okay. Right. So it is delta, like that you have to calculate the delta L change in length for the different type of members. Now let this Young's modulus of the material of the bar. Okay, Young's modulus of the material for the we have bar. Of course, if it is, let us say in this case it is same. If at all if it is different, then also it comes to E1, E2, E3, right? So they also differs, but in this case it is same. But even some cases, even P also may be different. Okay, we are going to solve some of the problems for this one. So P also may be different because each section will subject to different type of force. In that one, P1, P2, P3, right? So that way it can be any combination of any one variable may be there, all may varies. Okay, so if a specific problem, P may be different, L may be different, A may be different, E may be different. And similarly for second part, another member, another section, part of section, so it may subject to different load, different length, and the area per section may be different, and smallest may be different. Okay, like that there may be any number of variables may be there. Okay, so you can calculate the change in length for this one, right? So if you want a total elongation, so delta L total elongation is equal to delta L1 plus delta L2 plus delta L3. So if you want a total elongation, so it is nothing but delta L1 plus delta L2 plus delta L3, means total elongation of the member. If you want to calculate, you can calculate like this. Total elongation is equal to elongation of the first member, second member, third member. Like that individually calculate and add it up to get the total elongation. Right? Total elongation is equal to like this. Right? Substitute delta 1, L1, delta L2, delta L3 for specific case for this one. So in this one, in this problem, whatever we have seen the diameter, diagram we have seen, in that one P is constant, right? And E is also constant, let us say. Okay, so assume that E also constant. So in that case, what happens? P and E are common. Sorry. So P and E are constant. So in that one, it is all the three equations P and E are same, P by E. So that's why take the P by E is common outside, and it is unknown. So L1 plus L by A1, L1 by A1 plus L2 by A2 plus L3 by A3. Right. So this is the equation to calculate the for that type of problem. There can be, if at all, any problem which is having different length loads as well as subject different loads it is subjected, and as well as the different Young's models are there. It's nothing but in that case you have to individually calculate to get the total one. Like this, you can use this equation. If there is any one criteria, one common is there, then you take out. So that simplification is easy. That's all, nothing else. Okay, that is only the reason we are adding it up and forming a simple equation. But don't think that for a stepper member always this is a equation. This is general equation, not like that. Okay, you better remember individually. And if you want more clarification, just you calculate the L1, L2, delta L1, delta L2, delta L separately, and add it up to get the this one. This equation is more reliable, okay, compared to this one. So this one, this equation may be good for some equations, some problems may not holds good for some problems. Okay, this equation holds good when the member is subjected to, all members are subjected to equal load and material is same. Okay, material same means Young's mass will be same. In that case only this is valid. Okay, that's why we are taking this is solved is nothing but because we are taking an example problem in such a way that it is same. That's why we are written equation. But this is not a general equation. Okay, for any type of member, it is not general equation. Only but this one it is holds. Whereas this one is general equations. Okay, so for any different types of if this in this case we are example we are taking only 3 types of sections. There may be 4 or 10 type of section or 100 type of sections are there combination. Then you have to delta L1, L2, L3, L3 and so on. Okay, so it depends on number of sections. Like that you have to calculate the change in length as well as stresses. Right. Now for let us see the one example problem how to calculate this one. A stepped copper bar is of diameter 10 mm. In the middle portion of length 1 meter and the both ends it is of 12 mm in diameter. Each end portion is 0.6 meters long. If the axial pull throughout the bar is 20 kilonewtons, find the total elongation of the bar. Right. So this is a given problem. Right. What we need a total elongation. Total elongation is nothing but delta L. So to get the delta L, what we need to calculate the delta L1 plus delta L2, because in this one 3 types of sections are delta L1. This is section 1, section 2, section 3. This AB portion is having a diameter is equal to 12 mm and length is equal to 0.6 mm. Right. Of course, in the problem he has not given in the this diagram. Of course, in the exam also this diagram may be or may not be given. Okay, so based on this numerical problem we have prepared. Okay, this diagram, a stepped copper bar of diameter 10 mm in the middle portion, 10 mm in the middle portion of length 1 meter. So middle portion length is 1 meter. Right, it's numerically given. We have and this is a solution. This is a part of solution. This diagram is a part of solution. Okay, because in the this question it is not given, only numerical problem is given. We have to prepare the diagram. Right, 1 meter at both ends it is 12 mm in diameter. Right, 12 mm in diameter, each end portion is 0.6 meters. So that's why middle one is 10 mm and 1 meter length, and end portions 12 mm diameters and 0.6 meters length. That's what it is. We have drawn the diagram. Right, if the axial pull throughout the bar is 20 kN, but the load is same for all the sections, load is same. If there may be some problems in that one, load also may be different. This may be subjected to different load, this may be different load, this may be subjected to different load. That also we are going to solve in later on. Right, now in this one it is all members are subjected to equal load. Don't think that this load member is subjected to here and here, so this will not subjected to any load. Not like this. If it is load is acting means it is acts throughout the member. Okay, it acts throughout the member, and one basic assumption in that one is that generally it is load is subjected here means generally stress concentration will be more here and it will be lesser here compared to it. But that is an assumption. That is the actual one. But his assumption is that basic fundamental assumptions is nothing but it is subjected to uniform load up. Okay, it is subjected to uniform load. Whatever the load is, this member AB is subjected, and this will similarly CD also subjected the same load. That's what the basic assumptions in the mechanics here are. Right, that is based on that assumption only we can solve it. Otherwise it is very difficult to solve the problem. So it is subjected to a uniform load, I mean throughout the same load all the members, and what we need to calculate the delta L. Delta L is nothing but change in length. So how to calculate change in length, just now we have discussed. So delta L is equal to is nothing but total elongation. Total elongation is equal to delta L1 plus delta L2 plus delta L3. Means change in length in AB, change in length in BC, change in length in the CD. Of course, D is come here, so it will be C. This is D. CD portion. Okay, so change in length in AB portion, BC portion, and CD portion. If you add all these three, you will get the total elongation. Right? Of course, in the question, it is stresses are not asked. If you want the stresses also, there may be some problems in the problems also. You may ask to calculate the stresses also. Stress in AB, stress in BC, stress in CD. Another part. Okay, how to calculate stress in AB part is nothing but AB. So for AB, stress in is equal to how much? Stress is equal to load by area. Okay, load by area. What is the load? Load is nothing but all the members subjected to same load. So 20 into 10 to the power of 3. Right, this is converted to kilonewtons. I have converted into newtons. That is nothing but 10 to the power of 3. So divide by area. So it is what is the area? So area pi by area means don't think that is 0.6 into 12. Not like that. We need to calculate the cross section area. Okay, so if you cut the section here, if you see, so it will be like this cross section area, and its diameter is 12 mm. Okay, its diameter is 12 mm. That is nothing but area, cross section area, not the whatever area. This is length into width or something, not like that. This is a cross section area. Because load is subjected to this one, the stress may be here. It is with this area we have to perpendicular to this one. This area we have to take cross section area. So how much it is? Pi by 4. D square is nothing but 12 square. Okay, that's how you have to calculate the load. Stress in the member 1. Similarly, stress in the member 2, stress in the member 3. Of course, here AB and CD are same length and same diameter. Both will subjected to same load. So that is equal to sigma 3 also. Right? Same amount of the load and same amount of the same diameter. So that's why they both will subjected to same stress as well as same elongation, because length also same. Right? That's how you have to calculate. Now let us see the solution. How to calculate delta L? So delta L1, let us say first one, it is equal to, let us see, delta L1 is equal to what? PL by AE. So PL by AE. So what is P? P is nothing but 20 kilonewtons into 10 to the power of 3. L is nothing but 0.6. The first portion, AB portion, is 0.6 meters. Divided by area is nothing but pi by 4. Right? 20 square. Sorry, 12 square. Right? And into length is nothing but E is nothing but Young's modulus, that is given in the problem, 120 gigapascals. Okay, so 120 gigapascal you need to convert into Newton per mm square. Right? So substitute the Young's modulus. Copper, it is nothing but 1.2 into 1.2 into 10 to the power of 5. That is the copper, 1.2 into 10 to the power of 5 Newton per mm square. Now let us see Excel pool. So this is nothing but gigapascal converted into kilonewton per mm square or Newton per mm square. If it is depends on our requirement, because I am keeping this force in kilonewtons, that's why I am converted Young's modulus also onto into kilonewtons. Right? So if you want this also into newtons, you put into 10 to the power of 3 newtons. That will become this will become 1.2 10 to the power of 3, means 1.2 into 10 to the power of 5 Newton per mm square. If you want to convert into this one, it will be 1.2 into 10 to the power of 5 Newton per mm square. So how it is can? 10 K means kilo. Kilo means 10 to the power of 3. Here also it is 20 into 10 to the power of 3. Okay. So like this is newtons, and this is 10 to the power of 3, and I'm 120 is there. 120 means I am putting these 2 points here. So it is I am putting a point here. That's why it is 10. Another 10. Another 2 digits means that's why it is 3 plus 2, 5 digits. Right? 1.2 into 10 to the power of 5 Newton per mm square. Like that you have to convert, okay, into required units. So A1 A3 is equal to pi by 4 d square, d is the diameter, and A2 is equal to pi by 4 10 square. Right? The middle portion having the area diameter of 10 and two outer portion having diameter of 12. So delta L is equal to, we need the delta L, that is total elongation. So that is equal to delta L1 plus delta L2 plus delta L3. So delta L is equal to PL1 by A1 EV, because in this when load is subjected to same as well as Young's modulus also same. That's why it is P by is take out the common and it is substitute L1 by A1. So L1 is first one is 0.1 meter and area you are calculated. Substitute the and calculate the delta L. So total elongation is equal to 3.89 mm. Like this we have to calculate. Okay. So it is this how you have to solve the problem. Let us say another problem. So it is a bar ABCD of 12 mm diameter is subjected to axial forces as shown in figure. So in this one, this figure is given. In the examination, you maybe or may not be given the figures. Yes, why the figure is given is nothing but it is subjected to different type of load. AB part is subjected to different load, BC part is subjected to different load, and CD part may be subjected to different loads. Different load. Here it is 10 kilonewtons, here is 16 kilonewtons. Right? So it is different loads are there. In diameter is subjected to axial forces. The material is same throughout the bar. Find the deformation of the bar under applied loads. Take Young's modulus is equal to 120 into 10 to the power of 9 Pascal. So gigapascal. It's nothing but gigapascal. Just like the one means it is equal to a 1.2 into 10 to the power of, you will get it is 1.2 into 10 to the power of 5 Newton per meter. That's how much you will get it. Same to our previous problem. Previous also it is 120 gigapascal only. So if you convert it, you will get 1.2 10 to the power of 5 Newton per meter square. Now here it is, see, it is little bit confusing problem, right? It is because E is AB member, BC member may be subjected to yes, given different type of loads. But whenever a problem is given to you, like this, different in this one, first you check the equilibrium condition, because sometimes there may be problem in the wrong also. This diameter and numerical values may be wrong. Sometimes it may be typical mistakes or anything. To check the equilibrium, how to check the equilibrium of these forces? Means check the forces all towards the right side are equal to all towards the left side forces. Means it is, you see this on all the forces which is having toward this side, how much it is? Nothing but R. This is 10 kilonewtons right side acting. How much it is? 10, right? And how much it is? Another force. This is acting left side. So left side means let us say it is add it. So how much it is? Left side it is 18 is there, right? Right, so 18 is there, so 18, right? 18 plus what is it? And the next one, if you see come here, this is what arrows is which direction? Towards the right side direction. Don't think that member, just need to see the direction. Okay, if it is right side, add it here, right? And if you see the other one, it is 18 kilonewtons this side towards left, so that's why we are added here. And the another force it is there, that is nothing but 16 kilonewtons, which direction it is? Again towards the left, so that is nothing but 16, right? 18 plus 16 how much? 34. It is it. It is 34 kilonewtons. How much it is? 10 plus 24? 34. Both are same? Yes. Both shall be same. Then only this entire member will be in equilibrium condition. Okay, that's because for the check, if in the solution it is not required. Okay, but only the thing is that the problem, if at all, if you found somewhere after going everything, it is there may be found that they may, instead of at the end of the solving the paper, if you found that something is not matching, then it is difficult. Okay, unnecessarily your time waste. So that's why it is initially when the problem is given, just you check. This is only a checkpoint of it. This is an additional information that is I am giving to you, because in the solution it is not required, right? So this is only thing is that I want to tell something about how to check the equilibrium condition, right? So that's what how to check the equilibrium with the forces, equilibrium of forces, right? In this one, see, check the I will repeat it. You add the all the forces toward the right. In this case it is 10 and the last 24, that's why I'm adding this to equal to 34. And all the forces which is towards left, that is nothing but 18 plus 16, 34. Both are equal, then only the body will be in equilibrium condition. Now you can say that this problem is correct, right? So at least that body will be in equilibrium condition. That's what I can say, right? So in the sometimes there may be due to typical mistakes, instead of this 20, if you got as 20 or 24, you got as 20, or if it is more than that, then it will be difficult. Okay, so that's why be careful about it, so that you will get the correct one. Now let us see the solution. So So Young's modulus is equal to 120 into 10 to the power of 9 Pascal, that is 120 kilonewton per mm square. So diameter of the bar is D is equal to 12 mm, right? And change in length AB is equal to delta L1 and BC delta L2, in CD delta L3. So area is equal to, first one area is, because all are uniform section. Section is uniform. Area is same throughout the section, right? That's what it is given. So area of the bar is equal to so and so A is equal to pi by 4 d square. That's what you got, right? Consider AB portion. Now check the equilibrium. Now check the equilibrium as an individual. In that first problem itself, I have explained to check the equilibrium of the entire picture. Now it is consider the equilibrium of each figure, right? So how to consider the equilibrium of each figure? So if we take portion AB, on the left side it is acting. In the problem it is given that left towards the left a force of 16 kilonewtons is acting. That is nothing but tension. Okay, pull. So it is acting a tensile force of 16 kilonewtons. That is acting. So when member is subjected to left side, it is 16 kilonewtons, means for the equilibrium condition, towards the right also it shall subjected to 16. It shall subjected to. Please remember what wording I am using. Okay, it shall subjected to 16 kilonewtons only. Then only that body will in equilibrium condition. Right. Towards the left is 16 kilonewtons. That is given in the problem. So in the what is say in that one question, he has given one more 24 kilonewtons here, 24. Okay, towards like this. If you see this BC portion in the problem, he has given one other one towards this is at 24. Don't take that 24. Okay, don't take that 24. So when this member AB is subjected to in the left side 16 kilonewtons, right side also it shall subjected to only 16 kilonewtons only. Then only that body will be in equilibrium condition. Right, so that's why we are drawing a free body diagram. That's why we call it FBD, means free body diagram we are drawing. Okay, so it is 16 kilonewtons means 16 kilonewtons. That's all. AB portion is over. Neglect the 24 where it comes again in the consideration of BC. Let us discuss about this 16 and 24 here, right? So it is 16 means this is also subjected to 16. That's why it is, that's over. Now can calculate the delta L1 for this AB portion. It is nothing but 16 into, why it is 16, P is 16 and L1 is 800, A is nothing but 16, is same, and 120 is equal to 120. Right? This is in kilonewton, this is also in kilonewton per mm square. That's why it is both will be matching. Don't think that again it is different units, are same units. This is 16 kilonewtons and this will length millimeters, area in millimeters, and yeah, stress. This is a Young's modulus in kilonewton per millimeter square. So kilonewtons in this case both get matches. So in meters, millimeters, I am substituting in millimeters. That's why it is matching. So it is, what is the change in length is equal to 0.093 mm. What is this? This is actually tension, tensile load means pull. Pull means it is elongation. That's why it is, I am taking it as a plus, because some members may be subjected to compression, some members may be subjected to tension. We have to get the total, we have to add it up, total plus and minus. We have to consider sign also into account, elongation or contraction. Okay, to calculate the total elongation, we have to calculate, consider the sign, means either elongation and contraction. Okay, so if I am taking elongation as a plus, don't think that it is only hard and fast. We can take elongation as a minus, contraction as a plus, different thing. Okay, but only thing in general, what we do, the elongation means plus, we consider in general, and contraction minus. That's what same convention we are following. Now let us go to the portion BC. So it is BC subject to 8 kilonewtons. Where does this 8 has come? In the problem, nowhere it is 8 is there. Okay, no 8 is there. So why it is 8 is coming means that I will explain to you here. Okay, I will show full diagram so that it will be clear. Then only you will get the concept of it. Right? In the problem he has given this as 16, right? 16 kilonewtons, and here it is given as a 24 kilonewtons. Forget about remaining portions. Okay, so only let us, we are bothered about AB and BC. Okay, so BC, whatever the load here, so let us say what type of load it is subjected to. It is subjected to, I think it is 18, right? This is 18, right? Now you observe it, right? You observe it. 16 kilonewtons, this AB portion is subjected, already we are considered. We have drawn it as a AB is equal to 16 kilonewtons. And instead of 24, how much we are considered? Already we have considered 16 kilonewtons for the portion AB. Okay, we are considered that already we are considered that portion, right? Out of 16 we are already taken. How much? What is the remaining? 24 minus 16. How much it is remaining? Remaining is nothing but 8 kilonewtons. 8 kilonewtons, which direction? Again, remaining 24 plus 16. Both are in same direction. Out of 24, I have already taken. 16 I have already taken. Remaining is 8 kilonewtons. So balance how much it is? 8. 8 is which direction? This direction. That's nothing but 8 kilonewtons. Right? So 8 kilonewtons. So it is, now you need not consider this one. Just you one got it as 8 kilonewtons. This side means obviously this side also it shall be subjected to 8 kilonewtons in opposite direction. Then only that body will in equilibrium condition. Right? That's why it is when I got this side means just put other side also same. Okay, 8 kilonewtons in opposite direction. If it is in this direction means otherwise this direction. But then only this member is subjected to compressive load. So equal and opposite. It is in equilibrium. Here is equal and opposite. Equilibrium condition. Right? Similarly, if we take the third figure, right? In third figure, if you see this one in the problem, he has given another one. So it is subjected to 10 kilonewtons. Right? Now I will draw the free body diagram for this BCD also. So it is subjected to how much it is? This side, it is in the problem itself is given 10 kilonewtons. If this is to a 10 kilonewtons, obviously what happens? This also shall be 10 kilonewtons. Then only that body will in equilibrium. Right? So this is CD is subjected to how much? 10 kilonewtons tension. This is subjected to 8 kilonewtons. Whether it is all are matching or not, just confirm it. So 16, 16 matching, right? Here it is 24 is there. 16, which direction? This direction. 16 and 8 also this direction. 16 plus 8, 24. Is it okay? Matching? Right. Next come to C part C. C is nothing but this one. Let us see 8 kilonewtons this side and 10 kilonewtons this side. Both are same direction, right? So 10 plus 8, 10 plus 8, 18. 18 is, it is a problem also, it is given 18. Is it matching? Yes. It shall match. Then only your answer is, your free body diagrams are correct. So that's why you have to free body diagrams are very, very important in this one. Okay, if you can able to draw the free body diagrams, it is absolutely very easy to solve the problems. Right? This is what A is subjected to 16 kilonewtons, B is subjected to 8 kilonewtons, and C is subjected to 10 kilonewtons. Remaining delta L1, delta L2, delta H calculation is just is only substitution and calculator part. Okay, let us not discuss much about it. Just how to draw the free body diagram. It's very, very important. Taking the loads, that is very important, right? So numerical part is remaining numerical calculation is very simple. It's not in a big issue, right? This is how we have to calculate the free body diagrams. Now then calculate the delta L2, delta L. Why we are taking minus means it is because it is subjected to compressive load. It is minus. That's why we are taking it as a minus. And third part, it is subject to tensile load. That's why it is we are taking it as plus. So for calculation of delta L1, so plus and minus you consider. You consider the sign also into account. Then calculate the change in length. This is plus, this is plus, this is minus. That is nothing but deformation of the bar is equal to 10.09 meters. Right? That's how you have to calculate solve the problems. So deformation of the bar we have discussed, and varying cross section delta L we have discussed. So we have discussed all stresses. So Young's modulus is the ratio of what? Stress to strain, linear strain. And third one, a timber piece of so and so. This what is the Young's modulus? This, if you solve it, you will get the answer. So this is different types of problems you may get in the examination. This may be either they may show here or sometimes they may show here. Okay, instead of here they will show here. Right? Wherever it show, it is nothing but see the direction and put it. That's all. But don't think that this is left side, this is right side. How to consider? No need of worry at all. Of course, we are going to let us solve some more problems if required in the next class. Right? So let us stop here.